Exciting news, survival fans. Soulmask 1.0 has finally been released. And as an added little bonus, the base game is on special for 10% off at the moment, but if you already happen to own it or you purchase and upgrade to 1.0 variant, you will get the DLC for free from now, the 10th of April, till the 10th of May. If you are newer to Soulmask, it is an open world survival craft game, a little bit of something for everyone, whether you're a builder or a fighter or just a wrangler of tribesmen. You'll find something in this game, no doubt. But let's go through this little trailer together. They've added a lot of really cool stuff to the game. New mounts, new exploration, the whole new map of the drifting thing. They've been in production for about 21 months. The game's been out in testing and whatnot. I've played the early access, here and there, the betas. Been great, the improvements they've been making. I think they mentioned there's been like 1,800 improvements made so far. Lots more in the customization and just building in general. We get the new flying ships. It's going to be pretty awesome. Lots of decorations, fighting, commanding, tailoring of those crafting systems, and they've got a new guidance system actually in-game too to help you off starting out, which is nice. Although I implore you to view my videos still, only if you like my extra little rants along the way, that is. But there is a simplified version actually in the game now, so you can not have to venture out so much, which is really nice. From the perspective of someone who makes guides on games from survival games. Well, the new enhanced mimicry, we'll go into a lot of that in the updates a little bit later on. The new masks, there's 4 new masks, and you can travel between worlds, which is quite cool. At least I'm fairly sure you can go from at least a level 60 character over to the new world. I hope you can come back again. That is to be seen. Of course, I'll be doing a little series and some helpful tips and tricks guides. Lots of cool mounts to ride. Teleportation with some of the new masks. Mild teleportation, but still nonetheless. Even seen there was wings you can get. Out. So yeah, if you haven't played Soulmask before, it's definitely a great time to jump on it as you get that DLC for free. So many changes to the game. I haven't played in a while, so I'm sure it will seem quite different to me. You know, there's PvE stuff to do. If you choose to play on a PvP server, there's still PvE stuff to do, dungeons and whatnot. They actually tailored it to be quite individual to those play styles, so if there's no complaining from the PvP community of, oh, this is more targeted towards the PvE, because they've changed it. They've changed it depending on the game setting, which is really awesome. We love that. Like I mentioned before, they've got the brand new onboarding system, as they've got their new guide companion, Consciousness X. It will step in for the first time you encounter special situations and offer timely advice. At the same time, the new in-game mask knowledge base brings Soulmask's entire encyclopedia directly into the game. Materials, uses, crafting methods, and even where to find them on the map. And the new Mimicry Ascension looks really promising. We've got the different types of ones going on with your different types of masks. Fertility now summons a manifestation behind you that unleashes volleys of arrows. Eternal Flame creates a large field that protects allies while damaging enemies. Shadow Walker now goes beyond optical invisibility, allowing you to teleport through space and tactical guidance. Even gains the power to bring fallen companions back to life. But it will make all the masks feel a little bit more unique again. The tribe development system, build your perfect clan. The new tribe ground can read good. The new training ground building allows talented tribesmen to pass on and inherit their exceptional talents through training. For the first time, you can truly shape a perfect clan warrior entirely your own. The new tribe role system finally solves the old problem of idle tribesmen standing around. By assigning specific duties to each tribesman, they can actively look for work wherever their assigned stations aren't busy. And with the new global tribe management system, You can oversee your stockpiles, workstation statuses, and each tribesman's current task and true commanders from a true commander's perspective. 3 game modes, find the Soulmask experience that fits you. This is cool. Version 1.0 introduces 3 distinct ways to play, each offering a very different kind of experience. Survival mode. If you love that harsh, immersive struggle of a classic wilderness survival, this is the original Soulmask experience at its core. That's probably what we'll do. Tribe mode. If you want to build up your tribe into a thriving civilization system, systems like prestige progression, random merchant events, and a high-pressure invasion mode mechanic will make every step of your experience feel dynamic and rewarding. I read that super well. Warrior mode. If all you want is to grab your weapon and fight, skipping the usual chores to focus on brutal combat, this mode was built for you. Yes, that's right, all you sweats. You got your very own mode. Stronger enemies, a harsher combat system, and weapons that no longer break for a pure test of offense and defense. Well, to be fair, I believe this mode is slightly different to the PvP mode because this is more for like speedrunners and stuff, but we'll go into that in a little bit. Every mode also supports deep customization. Now we have the DLC, which we can watch the little trailer here as well, but it is rooted in ancient Egyptian mythology and driven by the spirit of anti-gravity sunship civilization. It weaves together sandstorms, mechanical ruins, and 4 divine guardians into the most ambitious adventure this series has ever seen. Let's have a look-see. The new flying wings look really cool. The original map is very Mayan themed, so it is cool they've gone with pyramids and whatnot and gods and flying ships. Flying battalions. New bosses to find. Probably new dungeons to explore. Looks pretty dang awesome. Across the dune fields, floating pyramids loom over abandoned temples while the ruins of lost civilizations lie buried deep beneath the sands. Sand bandit factions wielding ancient technologies and 2 entirely new tribes stand openly against you at every turn. Dope. I like this little skeet thing going on here. Do a little bit of wakeboarding on the dunes. Venture further into the Death Desert and the Eye of the Sand. The lethal heart of the eternal sandstorm will greet you, along with the legend sleeping in the deepest reaches of the desert. Make your ship your home, your city in the sky. The most ambitious feature in the shifting sands is not the mask, it's not the ruins, and it's your ship. You begin with a creaking little wooden boat. Defeat Sobek, the crocodile guardian, to obtain your first anti-gravity engine, and your tribe will finally break free from the earth below. Fuck yeah. You can move your entire production line and your tribesmen onto your ship, keeping your settlement running while you travel, no longer tied to a single piece of land. That's going to make PvP very interesting. You can equip your ship with cannons, energy shields, rock breaker turrets, and even a battleship main cannon, turning you into a flying fortress. Through the ship linking system, you can combine ship factories, warships, and scout vessels into your own airborne fleet. And with the new die system and Egyptian-style building parts, you can transform your city into the sky into something uniquely your own. This is something that's cool because they will actually enable you to import your building stuff into Steam. So if you are big on building, you might see your own ship flying about, which is pretty dang cool. And I'll probably have some little competition for my viewers where I'll give away something and get around maybe in your design, which could be fun. We'll see how we go. And then once you got your ship all built and your mask fully powered up, you can venture in and fight the Death Sandstorm. We'll finally face a challenge worthy of awakening. Wear the mask, walk with the gods. Every mask in the shifting sand is a trophy torn from the body of a divine guardian beast you defeated with your own hands. Celestial Wings, the Mask of Horus, a god of the skies, grants immunity to fall damage. Free aerial gliding. Pretty sick, and devastating dive for attacks from above. It is heavily tailored towards survival and serves as your first real lifeline in Abyss Overlord, the Mask of Sobek. God of Floodwater converts enemy life into bonus armor with every kill. Surging Tides periodically nullify incoming damage, or floating fluid imprisonment traps enemies inside a watery prison. The more enemies you kill, the harder you become to bring down. Nice little mechanic there. And the more you use these masks, the more you level them up, and it actually quite tailors to your playstyle, which is really, really cool if you are unfamiliar with the game. Doomsday Judgment. The Mask of Anubis, one of the underworld, god of the underworld, reflects every negative status effect your enemy inflicts upon you. That's nice because there's a butt ton of them. And lets fallen enemies rise again to fight at your side. Your enemies become your army. Glorious Hymn. The Mask of Amun-Ra, god of the sun, burns all enemies while in a mimicry form and unleashes solar light that ignites everything in sight. That could be really cool when you're getting ganged up on. Every kill fuels your next outburst of power. It is pure, overwhelming destruction. And again, I'll mention that free claim period from the 10th of April to the 10th of May. Do jump on that for their DLC. The base game is still really fun by itself, but you might as well get this for free while you can. And now we'll just go through some of the update patch notes that 1.0 has brought changes to the game and whatnot. Added a tribe role system, added a new expedition structure that lets you dispatch tribemen to outposts for rewards. A little bit of something else to do with your life. Repeatedly succeeding in defeating against invasions can now attract talented tribesmen to join your settlement. So you don't necessarily have to go out and hunt for them if you lurk at home and you're really good at defending. Nice little aspect they've added. Added the training grounds where tribesmen can learn new talents. We read about that before. Added dungeon respawn points with the option to enable or disable them. Well, they did have that before, but maybe it was a bit different. Added merchants. Added 2 new currencies used for buying and selling goods. Merchants only purchase specific item types after opening the merchant's interface. Only items marked accordingly in your inventory can be sold. Again, another little thing that you can do other than just skill and PvE stuff or PvP things. Added new game modes, survival, tribe, PvP mode, and warrior survival mode. Equivalent to the original default PvE experience. Mid and late game leveling has been adjusted so progression becomes faster later on. Thank God, because before, truly, it really slowed down after 50. It was crazy. Tribe mode. Added a new tribe progression system focused on management and expansion, allowing for a more complete automation and defense structure. Features an independent tech tree with significantly reduced tech point requirements. Includes invasion mechanics more intensive than those in survival mode, adds random merchant events and wandering merchants, offers more defense challenges and mode exclusive prestige progression system. PvP mode, just for you sweats specifically. A separate mode customized from the original official PvP server. Added new, I'm really good at speaking. Added a server progression restriction system for the first 10 days after launch, with adjustable settings tied to awareness level caps and server day X after launch. That's pretty cool. Drop rates and durability of high tier gear are affected by server progression. Includes mode exclusive awareness level progression and settings to smooth out leveling. Increased recruitment growth and production efficiency. They've changed a lot to PvP. Pardon me. Added exclusive merchant that can sell workstations and building parts once requirements are met, along with exclusive medicines and set repair items. Few high-tier boss sets. What am I saying? High-tier boss sets and mysterious sets now gain PvP-orientated effects. That's cool. So especially different, but depending on each mode. So I'll likely have to make some specific PvP guides on my solo player server. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. I might actually have to go play PvP. I can make some warrior mode ones on my solo server at least. Dying in multiplayer combat no longer causes you to drop all equipped items. Interesting. Tribe population limits are greatly reduced with simplified tribesman production behavior to improve performance. Long gone are the days of that random 1 PvE guy joining a server and building a massive PvE base and taking up all of the RAM with his chaos, because now he can go do that somewhere else. Or her. And just generally, if you do have 1 or 2 here, they've improved performance anyway. Advanced sticky explosive jars now deal less damage to buildings, but significantly more damage to creatures. The duration of Hammer's Sun shelter damage reduced effects have been reduced. Warrior mode, a fully customizable challenge mode, including support for speedrunning attempts with save time, playtime tracking. That's really cool, and I might have to have a go. Downstate, building decay, invasions, and item drops on death are disabled by default, but you can turn them on, I suppose. Your initial body starts drastically weakened, returning to the earlier white quality, talent-free state, but you are provided with weapons and gear at character creation. Ooh. More enemies and creatures, including elite enemies, can appear in the wild. So it's a harder mode too. Enemies and creatures are stronger and have smarter AI, making even starting area enemies a serious threat. Combat is more harsher and places greater emphasis on stamina and poise, requiring more precise dodge timing. The support for multiple tribesmen becomes far more important. Awareness level rises very quickly, supported by a custom tech tree with dramatically reduced tech point requirements. Food and fuel consumption are greatly reduced, also nice when trying to focus on speedrunning things. Weapons and armor no longer break and lose durability, and you don't even need to just speedrun. You can just run around playing the game like this because it's just hard mode, which is cool. They no longer lose durability, and a high tier gear no longer gains extra damage reduction against low tier weapons. Requirement, growth, production, and crafting efficiencies are greatly increased, along with high tier output multiplier. If you didn't know, the more stuff you craft and the higher level you are at that crafting capability, the better thing you will get. And you can sometimes get specially skilled tribesmen, and if you're using them, and this is the whole thing. I'll make more guides on it. Merchants are permanently stationed at camps, and special events occur far more frequently. Added more boss challenges and exclusive challenge structures. The hammer solar protection, damage reduction, and duration are both halved. Different modes now support different game coefficients, difficulty settings, data setup, quest types, event types, and UI configuration. That's nice and customizable. Added more King of the Regions to server events, with one appearing at random each time, along with a new challenge boss, the Mysterious Strong One. No idea what any of that means. I'll have to find out. It's probably something added since I last played. Tutorial quests have been streamlined by simplifying some of the early blueprint learning steps. Guidances can now be customized for different modes. Added milestone quests to provide stronger gameplay goals. Nice. Added save playtime tracking. Elite and boss dynamic power scaling has been adjusted. The influence of tribesmen in battle has been halved, while player participation remains unchanged. Which is nice, because if you're a solo player and you just tried to have some tribesmen there to help you fight a boss, the boss is actually scaled with the more people that are there to fight it, annoyingly. So if you've got a capable human being with you, it's fine. They can help. So the boss scaling doesn't matter that much. But when it's an NPC, they're okay at best. They're hopefully a lot better now. But unless you were controlling that NPC with the mask power thingy, it was just annoying, and it wasn't really worth having the added difficulty, you know? So it's nice that they've changed that. They really do listen to feedback. They improved the monkey's auto loot behavior. I love me some monkey nests. Optimize the tech tree interface. Blueprints that require no tech points are now learned by default. That makes a lot of sense. Text for the items that require no tech points is no longer shown. Expanded support for display DLC and map exclusive blueprints. Adjust enemy spawn timers and chest refresh timers in the Sacred Ruin of Frozen Valley. Also something I'm not sure about. Mask related adjustments. Damn, there's a lot of them. So pause if you want to read all of that. Added statuses, which change over time based on individual progression. Added appearance recording feature that lets you save tribesman appearances and copy it to others. Thought they had that already. Adjust the default number of appearance data records to 5. You can also like upload your tribesmen to, you got to do some quests, get some stuff. And if they die, you can just like reanimate them. So that's cool. Added new data processing function, allowing tribesmen to be stored digitally to dedicated items or restored from digital form. Reduce the weight of the mysterious stone altar. Greatly reduce the time required for reshaping, the thing I was talking about just before. Some skills now support damage state adjustment. Improved climbing animation. That's cool because it was a bit ganky before. Janky. Building workstations now automatically align with the fence or facing of placed floor foundations. That might be good. It might be annoying. Increased placement range for hanging braziers. Roof and stairs can now be rotated during placement. Fuck yeah. Pointed roof series can now be pointed directly on. That's kind of cool. When not under player control, the player's initial body will automatically sit in the designated chieftain's chair nearby. That is nice because you often lose your original body who's just like sitting somewhere in a corner. And you're like, oh, you've been getting around as your tribesman for 2 days. You can't just kill your tribesman willy-nilly and teleport to a different campfire like your original guy. So the chicken coop is now the turkey coop. That's nice. Building Wall type structures now support snapping to foundations. That's awesome. Placement preview now displays collision areas, tribesmen and follower improvements. Increase attack willingness from tribesmen and companions, so they're not just going to goof about. Tribesmen defending within bonfire range will automatically take preset weapons, gear, and food from the weapon rack. Also nice, you're not just going to come back after being evaded and everyone dead. Yay! Not even buy an actual PvE stuff comes and raids you. Companions can now automatically loot bags with their behavior toggleable in tribesman behavior settings. Also nice. Companions can now automatically gather after the player performs the corresponding gathering action. Also awesome. Companions can now automatically dismantle low tier items in their inventory. That one is actually huge. Companions can now automatically use various food effects, and when home is under attack, tribesmen in passive mode will automatically take gear from the weapon rack as well. So they won't just be like, I'm passive. Because you can have them like not attack when you go to villages and forget to change it back over when you come home. And again, you come back and everyone dead. Added a new database feature that automatically archives collected text content. Added consciousness X, providing dramatic quest guidance. Peach is going mental. Let me know in the comments if you are a current Soulmask player or you're looking forward to playing it and the new DLC. Always love to hear y'all's feedback. And if you are a new viewer here, I'm Illibet. I do a lot of survival game content, mostly Conan Exiles, but also Soulmask. So yay, follow along for helpful guides on that and hopefully a playthrough or two. I also live stream over on Twitch every now and then and sometimes YouTube, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And for my returning viewers, yes, I know it's been a sweet minute. I am hopefully back to a little bit more regular content now, and I have finally moved, and that's why my everything same but different. Yes, in a new house with new stuff. I'll do a whole video for those who cares for the yeah. Anyway, I hope you have an excellent day, evening, night, morning, whatever it may be, wherever you may be. Have a good one.